welcome back to Mornings Don't Have to Suck, your go-to AM motivation and mindset podcast to start your day without the dread. In the short time we have together today, you might just learn something new about yourself and how to approach your day from a new and clever perspective. I am your host, Kaylin, founder of Live Your Clever Life Coaching, and we will jump right into it as usual today. So today we're going to discuss... I will be discussing, you will be listening and reflecting and brainstorming, of course, on how you show up for yourself. So in your daily life, from the moment you wake up in the morning, what actions do you begin to put into the world? And while I kind of talk through these, I really want you to be honest with yourself and be open to where your focus goes throughout the day and see where you can refocus it back to you to make you a little bit stronger. So in your everyday life, truly ask yourself, how do I show up for myself every day? Do you nourish your body, or do you eat out of habit or eat out of pure necessity, right? Like if you have to get up and rush to work, are you grabbing something that is convenient, or are you grabbing something with the intent to nourish your body? Just a thought. Do you move your body intentionally? Do you exercise your heart, your lungs? Do you do that intentionally? Or is it more of, I do it when I can, but it's not a part of my daily routine? Please note that as I'm asking these questions, this is not for you to be like, oh, she wants me to work out, or oh, she wants me to do this. I am strictly asking you different ways that you can show up for yourself and if you currently do that. So just want to put that out there. Do you nourish your brain? Do you listen to podcasts that are educational? Like this? Do you read books that expand your brain? Do you read fantasy books that expand your imagination? What do you do for your brain on the daily to make sure it's still good and growing? Or do you focus more on the things you have to get done, the people you have to take care of, the deadline you have to make because of work or whatever it is, right? Think about that and take a moment. If you are not driving your car, write it down. Add it to your notes app, because when we start to approach it from, maybe I'm not doing things as intentionally as I could be, it opens up some, gaps or some blind spots that maybe we want to fill in. I think a lot of us often end up living by our demands. So the work, the people that need us, XYZ, because that's what we've been told to do. Especially if you're a woman, you've been told to take care of everyone around you for the entirety of your life, likely. And when that happens, and when you're told that over and over and over again, you believe it and it just becomes second nature. But if you start to take care of you in the best way that you can, and with the same amount of compassion and energy that you give to everybody else, you become a lot stronger in how you take care of yourself, therefore reinforcing your ability to take care of other people. And I want us to take a moment to really sit with that, because I'm going to paint a picture for you. Let's say your alarm goes off every day at 6 a.m. You snooze it 5 or 6 times. You're finally up by 6:40. Therefore, you're going to be late, so you don't have time to take your long shower. You're in and out. Your hair's wet. You don't have time to make food. You don't have any bananas handy, which is a great thing to grab and go. So you pick up Starbucks on the way. 1, that's money spent. 2, probably not the healthiest option, but I love a Starbucks breakfast sandwich. So, whatever. Then you're rushing to work. You're not making sure you fill a water bottle. You're not giving yourself your bio breaks. You're not slowing down to make sure your heart rate is chilling and not beating a mile a minute. Your stress is building up in your chest, and it's only 9 a.m. So if that's the beginning of your day, you're not going to be as equipped to do your best at work, to take care of the people that need you to take care of them. So think about it. If that's your default, that's okay. But is that what you want for yourself? And is that what you want for your work? And is that what you want for your family or the people that you have to show up for? Things to think about. This is, again, if you have never listened to this story before, or this podcast story, I am not a shamer. I do not like shame. I think shame is an evil tactic used to keep people exactly where they are and to pull them back into a past version of themselves. So if shame is natural for you, we're going to fight that. If you start to feel shame at any point, know that it's okay, but that it is not necessary. You do not have to shame yourself, and you will never get me shaming you. And if you ever feel like any examples or any of the questions that I am asking are shaming you, I ask you to reframe it. Because oftentimes when we're being asked something that is exactly the thing we're trying to hide, it feels like we're being called out, or it feels like we're being shamed, when the person asking is probably just saying, oh, that was just a thought I had. So something to consider. Another thing I want to point out is routine versus habits. So are you a routine person who gets up every day at the same time? You go to your workout, you eat the same food, you go to work, you get off work, you make dinner, you watch your same show. Are you a routine person? Or are you a habitual person where you find your 3 or 4 things that bring you joy and you do those 4 things every day or every week or whatever it is, and outside of that, it's willy-nilly, free game? Think about it, because I think there's also probably a bigger spectrum in there, of course. Maybe you're a little bit of both. Maybe you're neither of those things. Maybe it changes based on the demands of your work. Maybe you travel a lot. Maybe there's a bunch of different scenarios that this can show up as, right? But just giving yourself the permission to review how you currently approach your daily life, and realizing that that approach is basically a very clear path to what you think you deserve in terms of treatment, in terms of time, in terms of energy, in terms of effort. And I think a lot of people don't realize that how you give your energy to other people doesn't always illustrate how you give to yourself. I think it's often the exact opposite, right? So when people are givers and they're always taking care of other people, they usually do not take care of themselves first. So things to consider as you go about your day-to-day and as you go about what you do, right? Whether it's you're reaching for that soda instead of the water, you're reaching for the 4th coffee instead of the water. Pay attention to why you do the things that you do. Is it habit? Is it routine? Is it for comfort? These are very good and valuable things to pay attention to. Ways to show up for yourself that are little, that are small, that will not take a ton of your effort, that you can literally do today. And I encourage you to do at least 1 to 3 of these today. That will lead to taking care of yourself a little bit better and supporting you a little bit better and showing up for you a little bit better. Number 1, drink water. Drink more water. I have this thing next to me 24/7. I used to have a big gallon one and I got made fun of, and I was like, guess who's hydrated? Guess who's not? Yeah, I don't really care. Make fun of me all you want. Water bottles save your life. Don't get a plastic one. Get a solid metal one so you can refill it and trust it. It will change your life. Even if you drink 1 more cup of water a day, if you get headaches a lot, try 2. I get headaches a lot because I'm very tall and I have low blood pressure. So if I'm not hydrated, I stand up too fast. I have to get to the ground real fast so I don't pass out. I get a bunch of headaches in the front of my head unless I drink water. So make sure that you're reaching for a cup of water or a bottle of water every hour, several times, right? Little steps. Eat a nutritious lunch today. Maybe you go to that new fancy health food place. I know we all have one. I like Cafe Yum. My best friend hates Cafe Yum. Sorry, Brie. Cafe Yum's an option. There's evergreens depending on where you are. You can go to any store and they have vegetables available for you to grab. Get yourself something that is nutritious, that's full, that covers everything, not just vegetables, right? You want to get all the food groups, but just give yourself something nourishing and pay attention to how you feel after in comparison to how it feels when you maybe reach for something that's prepackaged or not super healthy for you. Take time to groom. Take your shower, wash your hair, brush your hair. Put on that outfit that you enjoy. These little things, they absolutely add up. On top of that, call your favorite person. Call the person that makes you feel better, that you know, that knows you, that will cheer you up in the drop of a hat. Call them, especially if you're not feeling great. Maybe they'll be able to cheer you up a little bit. Buy yourself flowers. I love this one. Do it. Trader Joe's, they have wonderful flowers assortments. Or if you're a plant gal, buy yourself a new plant. They do have cheap ones out there. I swear. Go do that. Other things that you can do around the house. This is something that people usually don't love to do. I am not a chores gal. Never have been. I was going to say sorry, mom, because she's probably going to listen to this, but it's her fault because I'm kind of like her and she does this. But do your laundry. Do one thing today that will make later you thankful. So do your laundry. Do one chore you've been putting off. Clean the filter in the dishwasher. It's disgusting, but do it. Go for a walk. Do anything that connects you back to yourself just a little bit more. Because when you do that and you're more connected to yourself, it's a lot easier to be more intentional about how to carry yourself and lift yourself up so that you can do that for other people with a lot more power and a lot more intention and, most importantly, a lot more impact. I don't think that we consider that in our daily lives. Like, oh, I'm just going through the motions today. I'm exhausted. I would love to have like a day in bed, but I've just been run, basically on fumes for weeks now, and I need to XYZ. What if, right? What if we started being more intentional with that time and stopped letting our schedules dictate how energetic we are? I say that because I have a very busy couple of weeks coming up and I'm already like, oh, am I going to get through it? The answer is yes. You just have to decide and stop building up busy days as if they're something you've never done before. Last little bit before we wrap up for the day, please think back. And this might not be you and that's totally okay, but probably know people who are like this. When we were young, we went from school to sport to homework to food to hanging out with friends and back to school. And we were out and about for 12, 15 hours at a time. We can handle a couple back-to-back meetings. We can handle point A to point B to point C. So anytime you start to get overwhelmed by that schedule, remember, we used to be superheroes when we were younger. Like, here's last little bit. Example of my day as a high school student. Jazz band, 6:45 a.m. School, whatever hours that was. Water polo or volleyball for after school sport. Club sport was either soccer or volleyball. I was doing things. And then I was expected to go home and do homework and stuff. I don't know how I got through it. But we used to be superheroes. We can be superheroes now with more intention and just with a little bit more effort around how we prepare for those times. Not leaving things to last minute and really prioritizing ourselves first and showing up for yourself in those little ways. So please take a little bit of this into your day today. Make sure you show up for yourself in one way or another, even if it's just taking a sip of water every hour. I will take it. Make sure it's acceptable to you and make sure you pay attention and start to reflect a little bit more throughout the day as you are reaching for things or as you're doing things. Tap into the why behind it and see kind of what comes up for you. Have a wonderful day. Do something good today. Give someone a little bit of light, and I will see y'all tomorrow.